This is an overview of NetSHIELD. NetSHIELD is a Layer 2 IPS, an intrusion prevention system. It is non-inline and agentless. When you first log into the NetSHIELD appliance, you were brought to the Risk Profiler screen. This gives you a high-level overview of the security posture of your network. The dashboard has three main areas. The first is threats and includes untrusted assets attempting to gain access to the trusted network, or assets on the trusted network attempting to connect to known command and control or phishing servers. The second area is vulnerabilities. Auditing identifies CVEs, common vulnerabilities and exposures, and the severity, serious, high, medium, and low. The third is assets. This identifies how many assets are trusted and how many are untrusted on the network. NetSHIELD can be configured via DHCP or assigned a static IP through the console. The address that is assigned to Ethernet 0 is displayed in the Network Configuration section. VLANs can be configured on the physical interface. In this example, 5 VLANs have been created on Ethernet 0. Each VLAN has a VLAN tag, name, and a valid IP address on the VLAN segment. The switch port for Ethernet 0 is configured as a trunk, and all of the configured VLANs exist in the trunk. The NetSHIELD appliance also integrates with Active Directory. This allows an administrator to access NetSHIELD using AD credentials. In addition, there are VB scripts that can be loaded on the domain controller to map AD logins to MAC addresses. The next step following configuration is to perform an initial asset discovery. This will discover all assets on the defined physical and virtual networks to create a baseline for the trusted network. When this completes, the Managed Asset page will open, showing all of the assets discovered. This is the primary working page to manage all of the assets. Each asset discovered shows IP address, AD user credentials if available, the last time the asset was detected, VLAN participation if any, MAC address, and the operating system if it has been identified. Again, NetSHIELD is agentless and uses Nmap to discover the operating system and hostname. Initially, all assets discovered are trusted, so it is vital that the IT administrator review the list to ensure that all assets are known and belong on the trusted LAN. The blocking engine is powerful, so critical devices such as gateways, routers, and switches should be set to never block to prevent unintentional blocking and to maintain network connectivity. This is easily done by right mouse clicking on the IP address and selecting Never Block. A device can also be easily removed from the list by simply reversing the procedure. Assets shown in white are trusted. An untrusted asset will show in yellow. To trust an asset, simply right-click and trust. In addition, an asset can be trusted by selecting the checkbox and selecting Trust at the top of the page. Now that the IT administrator has verified all of the assets, it is time to enable the asset detection engine. NetSHIELD operates at Layer 2 and looks at ARPs and ARP broadcasts to discover all new assets connecting to the intranet segment. NetSHIELD will also listen to DHCP requests and IP traffic. Initially, asset detection should be configured to discover new devices, alert, and allow for manual blocking by selecting number 1. This is to provide time to discover devices not currently on the network, such as laptops and mobile devices. When these devices connect, they will appear in yellow as untrusted, but will still be able to operate. Selecting Show Advanced will display the default parameters. After reviewing the parameters, select Save. Select Enable Asset Detection to start detecting new assets when they join the network. Once all assets have been trusted, option number 2 should be selected to enable automatic blocking. Selecting Show Advanced will display the default parameters, including the block range and the protected range. When NetSHIELD blocks, it sends a continuous 40 kilobit stream at the untrusted asset within 40 milliseconds, isolating the untrusted asset and preventing it from participating in the network. When NetSHIELD blocks, it uses peer blocking to prevent all other assets from seeing the untrusted blocked asset. As an example of blocking, the highlighted asset will be removed from the trusted list. It is currently trusted as shown by the pings. After removing it from the list, it will be discovered by the asset detection engine as a new untrusted asset and blocked. Refreshing the screen shows the asset is highlighted in red and the pings have stopped. After it is trusted, the color will change from red to white and the pings will resume within a short time, indicating that the asset is now participating on the network. Now it is time to configure the malware detection system. NetSHIELD monitors egress traffic from the intranet segment by looking for connection attempts to known command and control and phishing servers. The uplink is connected to a mirror or span port for NetSHIELD to monitor the source and destination IP and MAC addresses. The monitor port only receives traffic and never transmits. In addition, only the packet header is inspected and the data is not captured. On the left side, we can see there are over 20,000 command and control malware servers. This list is created from multiple public and private sources and is updated every 3 hours. These are the servers that have ransomware, Locky, CryptoLocker, and more. When untrust is checked and blocking is enabled, an asset attempting to connect to a known command and control server is blocked within 40 milliseconds. This means when the packet comes back from a malware server with a malicious payload, the asset is already isolated from the network and the packet is dropped, preventing the malware infection. On the right side is the configuration to identify phishing servers. NetSHIELD uses a hashing algorithm to determine if a URL is a phishing link. When a suspected link is clicked, it will be checked against the cache whitelist and blacklist. If it is not found, a lookup will be done against a list of over 2.7 million phishing servers that is updated every 30 minutes. If close is checked, a TCP reset will be done while the lookup is performed. This typically takes about 2 seconds. If untrust is checked and blocking is enabled, and the lookup identifies a known phishing server, the user will be blocked for a configurable amount of time. If the user clicks the link again, the blocking time will be increased by the configured amount. Top-level domain blocking can be configured on the manual malware host list. Any connection attempt to a domain on this list will be untrusted and blocked if blocking is enabled. NetSHIELD can perform an audit to identify issues such as open ports, available services, and other common vulnerabilities and exposures. Audits can be full or differential and can be scheduled through the auditing wizard to run immediately, daily, weekly, or monthly. The assets to be audited are selected, and then the audit can be started. Audits use the Nessus framework to identify vulnerabilities in the assets on the network. Each audit generates a report. Identified issues and CVEs are listed in the report for the IT administrator to investigate and to resolve. Descriptions of the CVEs and remediation can be found in the National Vulnerability Database located at the National Institute of Standards and Technology website. Clicking on a CVE in the report will link to additional information. This is to aid the IT administrator in the resolution of identified vulnerabilities. Command Center is available on the enterprise model and consolidates management of multiple appliances. The status of each appliance bubbles up to the top level, making it easy for the IT administrator to see the status without opening multiple web sessions. Selecting an appliance will let the IT administrator access the Managed Asset window to perform actions such as trusting an asset.